heapstools.com.
G'day guys, Pete and Pete's Tools, great to see you here again today. Now I suppose you're wondering what the hell's Pete going on about today. Well, today's Pete's going on about this huge angle grinder here. See this angle grinder here, guys? I brought this before I brought my first plasma cutter, and I was using this to cut up all my 3mm sheet steel to make my dumpsters. And then one day I thought there's got to be a better way to do it than this, because I was getting headaches and all sorts of things, and this is really heavy to hold, and it was that slow, and even my neighbours started to complain. And you don't want your neighbours complaining, well I don't anyway. So after the neighbours come over and moaned about the bloody noise I was making, and admittedly guys, I was making a lot of noise. I was doing it outside and it just echoed up around the neighbourhood, you know. These grinders here, they make a hell of a racket, especially the big ones like this. So I had to figure out a way to cut my steel without so much noise. So then that's how I discovered plasma cutters, and then I brought a little plasma cutter. So guys, this video is about, I'm going to do a test run with this, and I'm going to cut a piece of steel with this, and then I'm going to do a test run with this and cut a piece of steel with this, exactly the same piece of steel, and we'll see which one goes better, looks better, and is quicker. I know a lot of you guys are really new to this, that's why I just want to show you, because you might be amazed, guys. Anyway guys, same as usual, you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say g'day Pete at peachstools.com, and I'll show you the difference to guys. Yeehaw! So this is my little plasma cutter, guys, just a standard cut 40. I think I paid about $250 for this about 7 years ago. And it's just a non-pilot arc machine, just your basic PT31 torch. And like I say, I've had it for 7 years, it goes like a charm. So you don't really need anything flash, that's what I'm saying if you're just getting into this game. Any cheap little plasma cutter is going to be better than a grinder, that's what I reckon anyway. But anyway guys, you have a look at my comparison video and you tell me what you think. Now guys, here's my dewalt angle grinder. Now the only reason I brought the dewalt angle grinder was I was buying those really cheap ones and they lasted about 10 seconds, and after you take them back for about the 10th time you get awfully bored. So I spent the money and I bought a dewalt one. So the cost of this big angle grinder 7 years ago in New Zealand, guys, was more than what I paid for my plasma cutter. So this was, I think, was about $300. My plasma cutter was, I think, was about 250 bucks. See guys, we're running at 2,200 watts, which is almost 3 horsepower. And mine's a 240 volt, you guys will be running 110 probably, 230 millimeter disc, and we're doing about 6,500 revs per minute. So it's no baby angle grinder by any stretch of the imagination, guys. So I've got some 3mm plate here, guys. Nice and thick steel, probably about 12 or so inches long. So 29 centimeters, so I think it's about 12, 13 inches or something. So what I'll do, guys, is we'll whack this off with the big angle grinder, and then I'll whack it off again with the plasma cutter, and you guys tell me. So another disadvantage I found, guys, using the big angle grinder is that we're going to have to clamp it because we have to put that much pressure on it to cut it. So I'll just try and get away with one clamp so you guys can watch me cut it. But it should really have 2 clamps, one up the front and one up the back. But we'll try and get away with this, guys. This is going to be noisy, and I'm not going to speed it up at all. So this is going to be how long it takes to cut. Now this is a 3 horsepower soft start machine, guys. And this is a big angle grinder, and I can hardly hold it. It weighs about bloody 6 or 7 kilos. Anyway, let's get into it. There we go, guys. As you can see, the sparks flying everywhere. It's bloody horrible. It's burning, actually burning my clothes. Look, actually my sweatshirt's starting to smoke because it's polyester and the sparks flying against it. It's just bloody horrible and it's noisy, and I don't know how long that took. But anyway, it's ugly. So here we have the cut, guys. It's not a bad cut. It's a nice clean cut. But it's horrible, it's noisy, it's sparky, and you set yourself on fire. And trust me, I've set myself on fire a few times with this angle grinder. But anyway, let's have a go at the plasma cutter now. Right guys, another one of the advantages, like I said, you don't need clamps, you don't need to hold it down. because you don't need any pressure on it, so we'll get rid of that clamp. See, my plasma cutter's got the old used nozzle on it that I've cut lots and lots of things with it, but the cutting disc that I put on the angle grinder was brand new. Right guys, let's get into it, see how long it takes and how uncomfortable it is. Yeehaw! There you go guys, there's that cut. I reckon that's pretty awesome. It's as good, if not a little bit better than what we did with the big angle grinder. I reckon it was a lot quicker, but I don't know about what you guys think. Notice we didn't have big sparks flying everywhere, going down my neck, and trying to set my jersey on fire here. So that's the comparison using a huge 3 horsepower grinder. So imagine if you're using one of the little grinders, like this. I mean, it will take you 3 days to cut through that, and like I say, the sparks and that are that uncomfortable, and it's just horrible really. Admittedly, this grinder here is a lot cheaper than my big one, but still, the plasma cutter is cheaper than what I paid for the grinder. So guys, that was just a little experiment for you there. I know which one I'd much rather use. A lot of you guys that are contacting me have never used a plasma cutter and you're still using the old grinder. So I just thought I'd give you a real quick comparison there and just show you the difference and why I'd never go back to this. Don't get me wrong, this is really good for grinding stuff up. You've welded it and all the rest of it, but this is really heavy. I can already feel it in my shoulders. It's really heavy, this thing. So whether you're using one of these guys, or you choose to use one of these, I mean, it's up to you fellas. But that's just my thoughts anyway. Same as usual guys, you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say good day at peachstools.com, and we'll see you next time, guys? Look after yourself.
peachstools.com